But anyway, it seems like everything you do privately becomes public. Why is that?
As they say, everything done in the dark shall come to the light.
Come to light.
Yes, exactly.
Are you gonna preach to me like Nick, you King David?
You
You gonna pick up a sling and take me out?
I wish that I could read the Bible, and then after I read the Bible, goes, let me interpret this in a way that makes me Jesus.
I'll take a shot at Nick because I've been backing him up, but like that whole King David stuff, that really kind of threw me for a loop. That's when I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna pump the brakes right there, Nick.
Well, that's how
your trials of David are not the same.
Like that's how he is, though. Like he sees everything he does as kind of a biblical. He does have a bit of a God complex. So
well, in a religious background too, I kind of understand that as well.
Yeah, I don't think he gets it though. I don't like when they read that Bible passage when we were all in that church. And I'm looking around at everyone. I'm like, guys, they're basically staring at us. And we found out later the church was onto something. And I'm like, guys.
Thou shalt not release your seed on April. I think that's in the Bible.
Thou shalt not gobble it up.
Shalt not lick it up, not lap it from thine woman's skin. Aaron, what were you thinking, man? You're like Saul with the dog. Like,
I didn't.
None of that shit came out, man.
No, I think he's saying I'm more.
On your member.
I think he's saying I'm more like the frat house leader in Van Wilder with the dog. I think is what
okay. Oh Lord.
No, it didn't happen. But I have to ask you this because we heard about the gaslighting conversation session with your eyewitness Kay. So was this a Nick got a hold of you thing, or is this an intrepid reporter went to his source to get a story thing?
Are you asking how Nick started speaking with me, or
yeah? I have a theory, but I just want to see how it went.
Do you want to say the theory first?
No, because if I'm wrong, I'm just going to move on.
See, that's smart. That's smart, Aaron. Do that.
I'm a smart guy.
Think before speaking.
It's all that Nick cum. I got some of his brains in there.
Right, it messed up your brain. You have little kids in your mouth. Oh God. Okay, so the way I started talking to Nick, and I'm not trying to put everything out there, but you remember when he started doing his local streams?
The cooking ones, or before that?
Before that, and then kind of right in that wheelhouse.
All right.
I was clipping him, and then I was like trying to make him transformative by putting stupid little cartoons and stuff in there, because I knew he was going after people in the chat. Or from what I understand, people have said that he was going after people's channels, or people were doing that. He threatened
to. Yeah, he struck videos and he threatened to get people removed. He threatened to report them. Yeah.
Okay, so I've heard that. So he messaged me saying, asked me nicely if I would take down the local stuff, and they said that they were his. And then I kind of hit him back. I did make it transformative, and I'm actually a local patron too. So I feel like if I'm using all his content and stuff like that, I should give money every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Like I do, like with you, I donate to your show. I donate to pretty much every show that I clip. I just in appreciation for what you do.
It's awful. You know what I'm saying? That's mighty white of you.
That's not good. Face. So like Nick started kind of talking to me that way, and I was like, hey man, I do this, I do that. I'm not, just taking your stuff, and actually I can kind of do it regardless.
Yeah.
And we just kind of started talking, and then like a day later is when Kay reached out to me and said that she was going to be going to the courthouse because I didn't know. I didn't know who Kay was. Out of the blue, she sent me a Twitter message, and I didn't even see the message. It was in those message requests, and I just clicked on it. I'm like, oh my God, yes, of course. And so we started talking that way, and then that's when she got the video of Nick, and I did the where I described what she saw, and then Nick reached out back to me to say, what the hell? He said that some of that stuff was untrue, and so that's when we kind of built a little bit of a dialogue.
I have to say this: you are getting. It is so funny. You are getting the Nick Rada treatment, which is once he talks to you, once he confides in you, he does feel a sense of like you owe a little bit of fealty to him. And anytime you do anything critical of him, he has to let you know that yes, he needs you to taste his cum. But then he'll go and he'll tell you, you got everything wrong, but he doesn't. I'm not mad at you for getting everything wrong. I just want to tell you how it really went. That's how he operates. That's how he tries to control his own little world. And that's why it always blows up on him, because people have eyeballs and ears and they see what they see and they hear what they hear. That's what he tried to do with your witness, your girl, Kay, was he sat down next to her and she said it in your interview. He was gaslighting the living fuck out of her.
So like, I'm in the middle, Aaron, as you know this. I always try to stay in the middle. And,
I know you're a good journalist. I'm trying to stir one up
I
here.
know you are. I get it. And it's okay. That's what your show's about, man. I respect that. So I do see Nick wanting to talk to Kay to try to get his opinion out and his point across to her. Because, I mean, Kay said a lot of things. And like a lot of things Kay said were right. And some of it also may have been some of Kay's opinion. And I respect that too. But Nick needs to be able to defend himself as well. And to be able to say, this is not how it is, or I think you're wrong in this, factor and stuff like that. So he does deserve a way to defend himself. Maybe approaching her the way he did, it probably wasn't the greatest way, but I've never had to do something like that. So I don't know what would be the best way. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not trying to just defend Nick.
You know what the best way? I'll tell you, because I've dealt with it, publicly, shit, stuff like that.
Why?
I didn't taste calm, all right?
You said it.
No, you just let people have their opinions about you. That's part of being a public figure.
Yeah.
The fact that he went up to Kay and went, I have to tell you right now how my life is. Why? No, you don't. She gets to watch you and she gets to decide to her what you are. You don't go up to her like a weirdo and go, I'm going to set this straight, this straight, this straight, this straight, and this straight. You look weird when you do shit like that. Do you see Russell Crowe, like if he, back when he got in trouble for a couple of things, like punching paparazzi and shit? Do you see him stopping people in the street going, I know you think I'm an asshole, but you have to understand what he did. No, he just walked off and said, go fuck yourself.
Like cancer.
Yeah, exactly. You let people, that's my biggest thing. One of the most entertaining things about Nick, I will say, is that he cannot help himself when it comes to having an opportunity to try to correct the record to someone critical of him. He will never let that opportunity go. He can't. He can't let, even though it would be better for him to learn that skill, that especially if he's ever going to stream again. Because if you don't think he's going to turn on that stream and it's not going to be full of people saying the most horrific shit you've ever seen, what's he going to do? Stop his chat every 3 seconds to correct the record?
Well, he did stream, multiple times, and people were saying, wild things and stuff in his stream and things like that. So I think he can handle it.
And then he stopped.
Well, I also think he is doing that because, he's getting close to the deal. The deal's been made, obviously, but they still got to sign things off and make it 100% official before. And this is what he's been kind of explaining to me. He wants to talk. He wants to give his side. He's dying to give his side, but he can't until the ink is dry. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of gives you an advantage where you can.
No, I have a court thing that's pending now too. And I navigate around that.
What is it?
The charge thing that I got going on that I don't talk about on the show. Because you can still stream, because you can still fucking stream and do a show unless you're a chicken shit who wants to wait for everything to die down so you can then only have your version of the story out there. He's been more than welcome to stream, more than welcome to talk about. Nothing, he could address everything I've ever talked about without violating anything from his legal case. He could address. I
think you're right. There's all kinds of ways to talk around things and not to say the exact word. Like, for instance, slam piece. Everybody knows, the young lady's name, but out of respect, you say slam piece, or you work around it. You know what I'm saying? I do see he could possibly do that. But, Aaron, going with your example, I think your charges, and I'm not going to say minor, but in comparison to what Nick is facing, I think he has a lot more to lose. I mean, you do too. I'm not saying you don't. But, like, felonies and things like that, stacking up with, everything else with the, the drugs and the children and the guns and things like that. Like, it behooves him to be quiet for once. And it looks like he's learning it a little bit, and not to go in.
But that's
you,
the
on
thing.
The other hand, have no problem, letting it out there. And it makes great radio. Thank you. Yeah. It's helped us out. Thanks, Clippers, but.
Well, that's the thing. But he didn't. But he didn't do that. He started streaming, caught heat, caught shit, and then stopped. So it's not like he went, well, no, it's because of my case. It's for my case. No, you thought you'd come back to this hero's welcome. You thought people would see it your way. They'd see you at. Remember, he tried to pitch himself as a victim of the government. It was a government conspiracy, that whole deal. As soon as people didn't buy it and started lighting him the fuck up, tucked his tail between his legs and stopped streaming. He wants to wait it out, let things die down a bit, then he'll come out with everything. The problem is there ain't going to be no dying down. I mean, the internet, they're ruthless.
Here's the inmate number of your whore wife that's fucking some other dude. Thoughts? Audience, thoughts? Any super chatters out there want to talk about this guy getting ambushed by the fact that his wife is banging a cocaine fiend? Anybody? Oh, we got $10 from Will Heron. It says, ha 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 ha. How's that hot tub stream hitting you now, buddy?